Stay legal. My daughter found Nemo. I found a new primo. Yeah, you know how we do.
What are you doing at?
Huh?
All right. Welcome to Headlines and Headaches on voiceitradio.com. I am your host, Larry H. Gardner. And right now, the H stands for, again, how did we get here? Shout out to everybody that came out to Sanctuary Baptist Church last night for the Mayoral Candidate Forum. Both candidates, Justin Bibb, the nonprofit executive, and Cleveland City Council President Kevin Kelly, were at the debate. And shout out to Jay Price for the moderation that she did. This program, Headlines Headaches, is sponsored by on voiceradio.com. Calling number is 216-772-0500. This program was sponsored by the Adams Board and also Ohio City Barbecue. Tastes so good. Never mind. I ain't gonna say nothing else. So pivy for the late start. The rain caught me off guard at this particular point in time. It's cold in Cleveland. And speaking of Cleveland, shout out to the Cleveland Browns with their mass unit intact, taking out the Denver Broncos 17-14 at First Energy Stadium. Case Keenum, also no Baker Mayfield, no Nick Chubb, no Kareem Hunt, and everything. So no Kareem Hunt, pretty much, and everybody banged up on the defensive side on the secondary. So pulled that out. We got 8 days before October 31st, Halloween Sunday, to play those dreaded Pittsburgh Steelers. So, Jesus. So, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to introduce my guest. You got the EP, the show host is here. You got the entrance music for him. So we're just going to go ahead and round it out now. So, all right, we're playing an oldie but goodie by my man Al Porter Jr., a.k.a. Sheriff Kilroy, and it's called Happy Feet. So this man is the write-in candidate and has Happy Feet going all the way to the ballot box. Please welcome Mr. Dontez Taylor. Dontez, how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing very well out here.
That's good.
I'm ready to win this.
So why should people write your name in for Ward 4 to be a candidate?
Because my name is Dontez Taylor, and I am your candidate for Ward 4. And why you should write my name is because I'm going to stand at the table when they bring out that lead money. I'm going to make sure your lead money is spent right. And I'm going to make sure when you go down to Child and Family Services that they get their families get the services they need out here in our community, and make sure in Ward 4 that we get some blind services and deaf services in Ward 4, and make sure we start our own entrepreneur program, because I'm going to start an entrepreneur program for kids that are 12 to 18 to start their own business.
So what was the first thing we went through a whole pandemic, and the thing about it is like you said that you're on there, it says you're visually impaired. You want to talk about how would you help run city council if elected, as far as Ward 4?
I would get out there and make sure that I have a inclusive team that can help me get out and make our ward better. Because I'm out here right now getting buildings knocked down and getting the lead out of the soil in Ward 4 and everything else. And I am working diligently to make it better for our people and teach people how to know how to do accessible technology out here, because that's coming in the future.
Okay. Tell us about your background. What skills you have to help run Ward 4?
I I grew up all over Cleveland on the east side, and I I worked. I used to be on city. I used to sit in the office with Joe Jones of Ward One when I lived in Ward One, and in the early 2000s, in the 1990s, I actually sat in Joe Jones' office and held a and had a position in his office to help run and make War One better out here.
Right.
And I worked on the Nina Turner campaign and helped her get out there and get the votes out and win it like nobody can. And I like to go to the table and make sure that money is allocated the right way. I'm in Black Man's Army. I'm in Black on Black, and we are all over Cleveland. We are on the east side, west side, north, south, east, west, and we stand up for injustice and everything else out here in our community. And if I am elected York City Council person, I'm going to make sure that the money is used in the right direction that we need to do.
Okay. So, so you saying that your visual impairment will not hold you to do the diligent duties in Ward 4?
No, it won't.
Okay.
Because when you're visually impaired or whatever, you have to do it a different way than a normal person do.
Okay. So, what is we are speaking of impairments, we've been going through this pandemic. What are your thoughts about health care in Ward 4? Because there's really not, there's a former councilman was convicted of bribes in Ward 4. What about the concern of the citizens as far as corruption and health care because of the pandemic? What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on we as people should come to the table and make sure that we got money set aside for people that need help with their going to the hospital or the doctor or whatever. We need to go out there and find the resources to get the grants that we need to help our people in our neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm. So basically you're talking about getting grants. What about the block grant dollars, CBDGC funding, CDC corporations? How would you work with those and your pretty much the leaders, the leaders in Ward 4 to get money, cash flow into Ward 4?
What I want to do is I want to bring back the Buckeye Development Corporation. And when I say bring back the Buckeye Development Corporation, I want to put the people that are precinct people in our development corporation and let them run it, but run it where we watch. We have someone that's watching that we don't get the money still again. Mm-hmm. And what I want to do is, if I become council person, I want to be audited every 3 months.
You want to be audited every 3 months?
Yes, I do, because I want to be. If I'm elected, I want to come. If anything's wrong, come to the carpet and tell me so I can fix it right away.
Mm-hmm. So next question I have for you is, how would you get things accomplished under there's going to be a new new administration as far as in the mayor's office. First of all, do you have a prediction in the race? And second of all, how would you get along with the new mayoral administration for Ward 4 if elected to Ward 4?
I would go and sit at the table with the mayor, with the whoever the mayor is, and make sure that our people are at the table to make sure that we get our fair share in dollars, so we can come back out here and make our ward better than what it is.
Okay, so what about so we have two mayoral candidates, Kevin Kelly and Justin Bibb. Anybody that you think that's going to take the seat, or you just?
I think Justin Bibbs.
Okay. So now, as far as what's been going on in Ward 4, there's been a lot of downtroddenness in Ward 4. Lodgemere looks great, but then when you go to Buckeye, it doesn't look so great. How would you improve Buckeye? How would you improve the streets over there at Ward 4?
What I want to do is I want to take some of the buildings that's over in Ward 4 first and test them for lead. Test them all the buildings that are empty. Test them for lead first and see what we can do to get the lead out of them first. Then bring a accessive technology office in Ward 4. I want where they can go in there and learn, where the residents can learn accessive technology for the 21st century.
Okay, and as far as what would you be doing if you wasn't running for council person?
What I will be doing is still being an activist out here to advocate for my people regardless.
And pretty much, what made you become an activist?
What made me become an activist is because I wanted to see that we got more improvement out here in our community, better than what it was when I was sitting down doing nothing. Ain't gonna get nothing done in our community.
Mm-hmm.
So I got up on my seat, got up and said it's time to go put boots on the streets and do some work out here for our kids and our disabled everybody. We need someone that gonna go down to City Hall and ain't gonna be in there for a paycheck.
Mm-hmm. And do you believe in staying in there for a long period of time, or do you believe in putting your plans and implements? Because a lot of people are talking about the reason why some people have done the things that they've done is because they stayed in there too long. Well, how long would you want to be a city council person in Ward 4 if you were elected?
If I'm elected, I would like to do 2 to 3 terms. Then after I do them 2 to 3 terms, I'm going to make sure someone is groomed to take that seat and run with it.
Okay. So how can people donate to your campaign or volunteer to work with you?
They can call Major Taps at 216-412-0922, or you can call my campaign number 216-760-2292. And what's coming up on Sunday, October 24th, it is the Rock the Vote. It's Rock the Vote Healing Gospel Concert given by your write-in candidate for Ward 4 at the House of Refuge at 15400 Kinsman Road, Cleveland, Ohio, 44120. And we got our port. It starts at 4 to 8. Doors open at 3:45. And we got Al Porter Jr. going to be on the show. We got Major Taps going to be doing some tapping. We got Rod Solo going to be out there. Our host will be Miss Lois Swanson and Robert Johnson Jr. And we're going to have raffle tickets, 3 for $5 and everything else. For more information, contact Dontez Taylor at 216-760-2292. 2292. And all groups, all bands, all choirs are invited to this great event. This is going to be a big event on Sunday, October 24th. This is to raise money. You can call me, and if you want to donate, call that number or call Major Taps so we can get your donation in so we can win this race and take it to the next level. And come out to 5701 Outway on Saturday, October 30th, 2021 from 12 to 6 p.m. And we're going to be selling Polish boys, hamburger combos, and chicken combos for my campaign. Yes, and this is the German National Ministries office, and so graciously Reverend Minister McKay let me use this building to fundraise or do whatever. So come on out and get your food. You can call us at 216-760-2292 for your orders now, or you can call Major Taps at 216-412-0922, or you can call Reverend Pamela Pinkley Butts at 216-548-0820 and get your orders in now so we can know how much food we need for Saturday, October 30th. We pushing and we raising. We want to raise some big dollars, and we're gonna have a raffle there on the 30th too. So we are pushing to win this race and make it better out here in our community in Ward 4. I'm out here trying to get the dead animals out of our ward and make sure that some of these houses can get the lead out of these houses. Then we rehab them. We get some kids to rehab them, and then try to see how we can give them to low income families and everything else.
Well, that ouch. Hello.
Yes.
Yes, this is Dontez Taylor is on. This must be Donna Walker Brown. How are you doing, Donna? It's cold out here in Cleveland and it's a little bit rainy, but otherwise I'm fine. Nobody cares about me, no way. So,
hey, Donna Walker Brown.
God bless. All right, God bless Donna. All right, thank you, Donna Walker Brown. She got off before I'm about to ask her a question about some cereal, but I'm gonna leave that alone. We going to break, so we're gonna head to break. When we come back, that was Donna Walker Brown, and she's endorsing this guy, Dontez Taylor, the visionary for Ward 4, the write-in candidate for Ward 4. And he's got a plan. He's got a plan. He got a vision for Ward 4. And that's all you need is pretty much of a vision. So when we come back on Headlines Headaches on voiceradio.com, we will talk more with Mr. Dontez Taylor about what's going on in Ward 4. And, as far as every safety concerns in Ward 4. So we come back as soon as so we're going to go out with a song. So before we go out with the song, Dontez, anything you got to say?
God bless everybody in Radio Land and everything else, and have a great day, and I'll be back soon.
All right, so you're gonna come back at that. So, you want us to continue?
Somebody that went in and changed a bunch of shit. Had to go through and reset everything. We're gonna turn on Facebook Live, shut off YouTube sound. That ain't supposed to happen. Like YouTube sound will not play because Facebook Live is on. No damn sense.
See, the problem is that like who was the new? Is that somebody that Silver Beak put in?
No, he's been in here for about 2 or 3 years.
Good.
Curtis. But every time
Curtis.
you come in here, something go wrong. Every single time you call me, everything you work right, then they come in and start calling me, talking about something ain't working.
Simply because they screwing stuff up.
They're doing something wrong. I'm going to come in and see what the hell they're doing. You got a caller coming in.
All right. Let's go back to the caller.
Right. Right.
Hello, caller. Are you there? I uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
What he does, I know he's as successful with this endeavor, he's still going to help the community a whole lot more. So I just wanted to say that you got one of my heroes on your show today that keeps me motivated, because if he can't use excuses, I can't use excuses. So thank you, Larry.
No problem. Thank you, Al. And the thing about it, no problem, peace. So, Dontez, you got a lot of respect. You got Donna Walker Brown calling in. You got Al Porter calling in. How does that make you feel, knowing that you took on an undertaking where most people who don't have, who are able-bodied, are afraid to take on?
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love the challenge that we got out here. And if I make it to that big old seat in City Hall, I'm gonna make everybody proud and pull the people that I know that can help me to the table with me, and we make sure that we get equal dollars. I want equal dollars in black on black. I want equal dollars across the board.
Okay. So pretty much you want equal dollars across the board, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So.
And I'm out here
Right.
always giving out food to my community and other people that ain't even in my community.
Right. So the thing about it is that we have, you had two people that respect you, both African Americans who have worked with you. So the thing is that what is, there's a big crime issue. How would you lower crime in Ward 4 if elected?
If I'm elected, I'm out there working with black on black out there to help. In 1 year, McCoy and other people in Black on Black and other activists, in 1 year we are putting a plan together to liberate all our crime and our violence in all our communities.
Okay.
Not just Ward 4. We working at the table to liberate the crime in all areas. I'm just not doing the crime in Ward 4. I'm out here in Black on Black to help with the crime all over.
Okay, so you're out, helping with the crime all over. So you want to stop the crime as far as that. So you're going to have black on black crime and, Black Man's Army help you with, if you are elected, help you clean up the streets over here in Ward 4?
Yes. And I'm going to, I'm gonna call and I'm gonna talk to some of the residents to help me too out here. And what I want to do is start a ward club again out here in Ward 4, and we meet every Thursday. Not saying we can't meet. We need to meet every Thursday because it's stuff going on in our ward every day. Every Thursday we'll meet and talk it over, and then get out there in the streets and do the work that we need to do in our community.
And what work? The thing about it is, what is that? Where does it start from? Does it start from housing? You said lead poisoning.
Yes.
You said housing.
We're gonna start and see where we can get these houses tested for lead.
Okay.
That will be one of my pet peeves to get that taken care of and make sure that when the money come in, we can go in there and get these people grants and stuff like that, so they can get these lead out of these houses as soon as we can.
All right, so let's get to let's go to the bigger picture. The bigger picture is that there is lack of opportunity, especially in Ward 4. How do you bring big businesses to Ward 4 so people can be employed? Pretty much with more opportunity, there's less crime. And there's also a supply shortage of workers. How do you get the businesses to the big corporations to Ward 4 so people can work with them?
What I want to do is I want to start other businesses in our ward and get people that have visions and everything else to come to the table and start their own business and figure out how we can get money for them to start these businesses in our community. I want to see people that lives in Ward 4 starting businesses in our community, so I can see people that lives in my ward succeed.
Okay.
First, they should be a first before anybody else come in here and take these buildings and occupy them.
All right. Despite everything we know about you, what is the most? What about your background? You said that you live in Ward 4, correct?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so what about your background? Your bringing? How did your upbringing with your parents shape you to run for office now?
My parents, I learned how from Joe Jones of Ward 1. That's who I learned from for running in these offices. I learned from my mentor, Joe Jones of Ward 1.
Shout out to Joe Jones. He will be here next week, phone interview pretty much, because he's campaigning as well in Ward 1. Heads up on next week. So
he's a great mentor out there, well as Art McCoy and Al Porter and all of them. over there, black on black.
Uh-huh.
I am ready to take my seats, my boots to the streets in Ward 4 and make sure that we can start a food garden where we can start this food gardening and we can have greenhouses on from the east, west, north, south. Have greenhouses where we can grow our own vegetables and own food and stuff like that, and make sure we can use that where we don't spray nothing on it. We grow it naturally, and we do it. And somebody in my ward office will be over about 2 or 3 people in my ward office will oversee this project and make sure that and put and we will put our own food pantry right next door to the ward office and make sure it's right. And when I get into office, I want to start a crime watch system. Is where they go in to this one big room and they deliberate and talk about the crime and see how we can deliberate the crime out here anonymously, and they can't come out and talk about it. They can't talk about it at all.
Talk about the crimes committed, or just talk about it. Talk about.
No, why they are trying to solve this big old crime that they got a tip on. They can't go out there in the community and just start talking about it. Okay.
Now here's the next thing that I want to get to. This is, pretty much important. If I'm a resident of Ward 4, how do you get now? You didn't make it in the you're a writing candidate, so you're not on the ballot, correct? How do you what is your best pitch to convince me to write your name in to be the next leader in Ward 4?
I'm dedicated, I'm hardworking, and I'm a young man that got boots on the streets and get out and pick up paper, do what I got to do to make it better. And I hope that all these residents out here in Ward 4 don't forget write-in candidate Dontez Taylor, because I'm out here for the people. And I'm not sitting down until my people are okay.
So you're not sitting down. So a lot of candidates are saying that they will walk the streets of Cleveland. They will walk Cleveland, east side, west side. Will you walk your ward?
Yes, I will. I walk it every day. I walked it before I was going to run for this seat. I've been out there in the trenches and on these streets before I was going to run for this seat. Okay.
So the thing about it is that you're going to walk the ward. You're going to do whatever you have to do to make sure the ward is safe. What about the opportunities for people to grow in Ward 4? Home ownership. How do you bring people to buy homes back in Ward 4?
What I'm going to do is talk to them, make sure first before we can move someone into Ward 4, we have to work with the neighbors that are out there already first, and make sure that we get to these street clubs and stuff like that, and make sure that we have welcome committees out there that when someone new comes to the ward, we can love on them. We can make sure that we can show them that it's safe and everything else out here in Ward 4. And work together. And what I want to do is I want to bring back neighbor to neighbor, where this neighbor and that neighbor can know each other. Not this neighbor walks in his house and just be there and don't know their neighbor next door around the corner. We want to know this neighbor. So if a sex offender come in our neighborhood, we would know. We would know and how we can get them out of here.
Well, that's I get the sex offender registry mail in my mailbox. Seeing who is the person that's there, and they're address to make sure that they know that there is a sex offender over there. I mean,
But it's some of our disabled or vision impaired people that can't see that piece of paper to know if who's their neighbor and who's this and who's that. You know what I mean? So they have to find out a different way than a seeing person do.
okay, so the thing about it is that you are, like you said, you're visually impaired. I mean, so am I, but not as the extent I probably need a cane, and because of the simple fact of the matter is, I'm clumsy anyway, so I'm gonna fall over my feet anyway. I'm like, even if I had 20/20 vision, I probably still, because I have no coordination at all. So, how would you help people who are visually impaired or who are in wheelchairs in Ward 4 get them to where they need to go as far as grocery stores, as far as, we know we got RTA paratransit, but a lot of people, don't use that, and they felt like they're stuck in the house. During this pandemic, how would you help them be more able to get up and be more independent than they are?
What I want to do is start a program out in Ward 4 where we can help the disabled go to the grocery store and get vans that they can take them to the store and have the consent of the parents, have the 12-year-olds or somebody consent of the parent that they can go to the grocery store with them and help them pick what they need and everything else, and everything else.
Okay.
That's one of my programs that I want to start in Ward 4.
Okay, so
It's called a Shoppers Program.
Shoppers Program? Okay.
Yes.
And you'll work with neighborhood grocery stores about the Shoppers Program?
Yes, I will.
Okay. Also others. You will also, and the one thing about Ward 4 is balancing budgets and making sure that they get the fair share as far as housing, the streets, and, making sure everything goes to par. You are, Ward 4 is actually near Shaker Square and everything else.
Yes, it is.
So how do you work with the people in Shaker Square and get more, because people don't feel safe in Ward 4, but they want to go out. What kind of entertainment thing that you would bring to Ward 4? What kind of structure would you bring to Ward 4 as far as building a bridge for people to go out? Like, will you have block parties or things of that nature?
What I want to do is start a festival, and what the festival is going to be called is the Taste of Ward 4. And the Taste of Ward 4 is where we get our restaurants and businesses to come out and display their food, the food that's over there and whatever else, because a lot of people don't know about the restaurants or some of the businesses that are in Ward 4 out here. So I want to bring that to Ward 4 and make it a year-round event where we can have we start with our vendors in Ward 4 first, and then we work our way out.
All right. So
this festival be a nice one.
All right, I got a question on Facebook. Latoya T. Witcher said 12-year-olds are too young to go to the grocery store without parent supervision. But what are his plans to assist residents with disabilities in regards to crime and violence in the community? And no, that's the question.
Read it again.
Okay. 12-year-olds are too young to go to grocery stores without parent supervision. What are his plans to assist residents with disabilities in regards to crime and violence in the community? And what is your plans to assist the youth with education?
My thing is the first thing is the youth can't go to the grocery store yet, because I'm gonna have some dark in this program. I'm gonna have dark supervision in this program so they can go, and I'm gonna make sure that we screen them. We do whatever we gotta do. So won't nobody messing with our kids out here, for one,
And
and
what
everything else.
and what about education?
Education, I will start tutoring programs at these libraries and other places in the recreation centers, so we can teach our kids how to know their ABCs or everything else they need to know, so they can be ready for the 21st century.
All right. So shout out to Richard Starr, who is a candidate for Ward 5, Mr. Bridges, Mario Snowden, K Chapman, Lee Weigart, who is a candidate for Cuyahoga County Executive, later on Latoya Witcher, and pretty much everybody else who's listening on Facebook Live. Now we gotta wrap it up a little bit. Natalie Fitton, how do you, and everybody else that's listening, and praying for everybody that's lost a loved one and things of that nature. So before we wrap up, what is your information again, so everybody can?
And on October 30th, some of the proceeds from that event is going to go to that family that lost the young lady that had the twin.
Okay.
Yes. Some of the proceeds are going to go to them. Her name is Summers, and some of the proceeds we're going to give to the family so they can bury this young lady.
All right. So that is Dontez Taylor running for Ward 4.
And that will be October 30th at 5701 Outway, and it's from 12 to 6. And we want to love on this family, and we want to make sure that they get some funds in their hands. So we are trying to raise a little funds, and some of the funds will go towards their burial of this young lady, and some of the funds will go to my campaign.
All right. So
And my number is 216-760-2292, or you can call Major Taft at 216-412-0922. And come to one of these events. These are going to be the best events ever out here in the city. We are rocking this vote to make sure that we get our people out here. And I'm calling Mr. Bibbs out, and I'm calling Mr. Kelly out for September 24th. So come on out.
October 24th.
October 24th at the House of Refuge, 15400 Kinsman, from 4 to 8. We are calling Mr. Bibbs and Mr. Kelly out.
All right. Thank you very much, Dontez. So we're going to end the show. Queens of the Nile is next, and hopefully my music will be up soon because I had a doozy. That is Ludacris Stand Up. But if not, this is Headlines and Headaches, brought to you by voiceitradio.com, brought to you by the Adams Board and Ohio City Barbecue. Mr. Dontez Taylor, writing candidate for Ward 4. If nobody shows you that they love you today, I do. Peace, love, and hair grease. We out.
And don't forget to write me in on that ballot on Tuesday, November 2nd.